Welcome back to Game 3 of Louisiana versus Iowa. In the first two games, Iowa has taken the 2-0 lead, despite being the 6th seed, as Louisiana is the 3rd seed. Going into this game, we're going to be watching starting pitchers. Freya Hull going up against Brick Bean. Now, I think earlier in this, I mentioned that Iowa was going to have the pitching advantage throughout this series. Actually, I think the other way around. Sorry about that. But this is actually very interesting. It's the first time I've seen this. So Freya Hull is actually a C- pitcher for Iowa. And normally this game will go, best to worst pitcher 1 through 4. For some reason, Freya Hull is put in here as the 3rd starting pitcher for Iowa. And then in the 4th game, we will see a C pitcher from them. So, a little bit interesting there. Not what I was expecting to see. And then for Louisiana, they are going to have their C+ pitcher in Brick Bean starting. So in this, we are going to see the pitching advantage once again to Louisiana. But that does mean that Iowa will have their one pitching advantage in the 4th game when they have a C going up against a C-. So very interesting. Not entirely sure what to make of that, but we will see how this plays out, and we'll see if Louisiana can get the first game on the board for them here. So I'll see you guys in the game. Here we go. So as a reminder, we do switch home fields here. We are going to start out with Freya Hull pitching for Iowa. Let's hit foul. 3 balls, 1 strike. That one went right down the middle and gets hit foul. Freya Hull does have that K-dud negative trait. Zoe's able to field that, get the first out. I wonder if it's that negative trait that they have her in the 3rd slot. Actually, no, because that would make it even a worse position, right? I don't know. Very interesting. Actually gets the strikeout. Ball gets hit foul. Rosas gets a nice hit here that will land in front of Macho Man in center field. And Louisiana has a player on with Charles O'Connor stepping up. We are looking at 2 outs though. Here we go. There's a steal, and he gets caught. All right. Well, that means that O'Connor will be able to step up in the 2nd inning. Riley Rojas so far has been very good about being able to get on base, currently sitting at a 400 batting average. She pops that one up. Will it have the distance? This is always a little bit hard to tell. It does have the distance. Riley Rojas with the home run to start things off here for Iowa. Iowa continuing to show that dominant home run hitting ability. And they're going to take an early lead here. David Macho Man now stepping up. Nice grounder over, but they are able to get him out there. Kellen Escargot, a player who has struggled a little bit so far this series. But we'll see if he can get anything going here. Brick Bean, on the flip side, does have that K-Man positive trait, so that will be a little bit interesting to see how that plays out. as Karnoka does get struck out. Gets a nice grounder up the middle. Win is going to be over there on first. Iowa stepping up here. They do have 2 outs. Mr. Avery so far has struggled a little bit in the first 2 games. That ball gets popped. This is going to be another interesting one. Center fielder calls it, and he is able to get it right at the wall. Wow, Iowa almost just took a 3-run lead, but Louisiana holds them to 1 run in that inning, and Charles O'Connor will step up for Louisiana again here.
Ball inside. That's inside. That's out.
And Hull just starts things off here with 4 balls. That is pitching into their best batter, though, so we'll see how that pans out for them. William Stewart gets a nice hit. Does it have the distance? We're going to be asking that a lot today, obviously, here. But that ball is also caught a couple of feet from the wall. Francis Bradley, so far, he's actually second in this series so far in terms of batting average, currently batting a .444. Grounder, they missed the dive, and that is going to allow Louisiana here to get on first and second. Melissa McMaster steps up. She has had the ability in this series to make a number of big plays, but so far only batting a .143, and she once again has somebody in scoring position. The ball does drift foul. 2 strikes, 1 ball. That K-Dud trait really does impact Freya Hull here. You can see doesn't have the best of velocity or junk bars, and that trait cuts them in half, but McMaster there swings and does get struck out. Plaid Mosley is batting great so far. He actually, I believe, is in first or second in batting average, especially for Louisiana. Nice grounder. Rojas is able to field that one and is able to get it over to first in time. Rick Bean stepping up here, bottom of the second, already at 16 pitches, which is a little bit higher than you would want to be going in here. But she will still definitely get a number of innings here. Louisiana, assuming that this game doesn't get out of reach, will more than likely pull in their decent relief pitcher in Shrewd Nixon when Rick Bean here gets stamina out. And as a reminder, Iowa will have problems in these next 2 games in terms of pitching. Every single pitcher that they have for this game and next game are in the C range. Iowa strikes out there. Zoe steps up. Starts things out with a strike. Grounder over to Rogers. Rogers will get that over to first. That will be out 2. Shining Nicholson for Iowa. One of the batters so far in this series that's struggling. Gets a hard grounder over to Rogers, and that was almost a mirror play of the one before. And we're going into the 3rd inning. Freya Hull will start off this inning, pitching against Bobby Hughes, who has yet to get a hit at all in this series. He is their designated hitter. Watches the first 3 pitches, and he swings at that final pitch and gets struck out. If Louisiana wants to make a run back in this series, again, they're currently down 2-0. They're going to need a couple of these batters to start getting hits. And Hunter Rogers, as their leadoff first in their batting order, he needs to get something going. An increased mojo or something would potentially do wonders for them. Here he's fouled off. I think that's 4 straight now. That's 5 straight. With if nothing else, that is increasing Hull's pitch count. She's already at 45 pitches. Considering she also has that K-Dud negative trait. This is crazy. I think we're like pitch 10. And there's the hit. Rojas is able to field that though. And that actually dropped his mojo, which is the opposite of what Louisiana's going to want. Edward Nielsen, though, ready to step up. And a reminder, Nielsen in the regular season did lead this team in hits. And in home runs, actually. But he gets struck out, and he just had a lowered mojo. These lowered mojos are not going to be working in Louisiana's favor at all. They need everything that they can get, especially being down 2 games already in this series. Ian is going to be pitching against R.J. Park. R.J. Park is the main player on Iowa that has not been able to get anything going. Gets grounded. Rogers. Is that 3 plays in a row that were almost identical? I think that's correct. Rogers over to first for the past 3 outs. That ball is popped up. It does not have the distance, though. And McMaster catches it out there in left field. David Macho Man so far has had a very good series. And that's to be expected. He is their S-rated player. So we'll see what he can do. Swings on that one. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. Ball gets hit and that will land. Bradley fields it in center field. Gets it in and Macho Man is on first. Macho Man in the regular season had 19 stolen bases. He was caught stealing those 6 times. He has that speed bar, and with 2 outs, I would not be surprised if we saw him take off to try to get into scoring position. That Louisiana's expecting the same thing. And they walk Escargot. George Wynn steps up and he has exceptionally high bars, but that one gets hit almost straight up. Will almost certainly be caught here, and that does end the inning. Going into the 4th, Hull is already at 52 pitches. With those bars dropped, it will be interesting to see here. It's actually interesting. I didn't notice this before the game. Freya Hull, who is the starting pitcher here, as a starting pitcher, had 0 wins in the regular season, but she also only had 2 losses. She had almost an 8 ERA. Oh, and actually, this is interesting. I didn't even notice this. She barely pitched in the regular season. It looks like they pulled her out nearly every game. So she started 20 games. She only pitched 13 innings. What? That has... what? The entire season got simulated, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. Maybe she got hurt or something? It's gotta be something like that, because she did play and start 20 games. Not her average inning, literally her total innings pitched were 13. So, who knows? That ball does get caught by Bradley. He gets over there just in time. Oh, that was a nice jump, but it was missed. We will see here. Zoe McCullough is now stepping up. Now that I looked at Hull's situation, I need to look at Bean's. Bean went 5 wins, 8 losses in the regular season, had about a 5 ERA. And in her 20 games that she started, she had 96 innings pitched. So she only lasted an average of about 5 innings a game. Nicholson steps up here. 2 players on. It's Louisiana. Uh-oh. Does that one have the distance? We're looking at another one right against the wall. Oh, that one was catchable, but he missed the jump. Oh, and Iowa is now up 4-0. And they're going to look to extend their lead, and Bean is going to get pulled for Shrewd Nixon. That is who we were expecting to come in here in relief. Shrewd Nixon is the only relief pitcher in this series above a C rating. He is an A-. So Louisiana knows that they cannot go down in this series 3-0. So they are going to pull in their best relief pitcher early. They start things out with a strikeout. The big catch now is, will Louisiana be able to put up enough points? They're not the highest of scoring teams. They are, of the 16 teams that made this tournament, they're 9th in points scored. And again, last in home runs. So you have to assume that even a 4-run lead might be too much for them to claw back from. That being said, Shrewd Nixon comes in, gets 2 key outs. The one thing that I wasn't thinking about when I just made that comment, with Iowa's pitching, we could definitely see some weak pitches coming in the second half of this game, and Louisiana possibly able to capitalize on that. Louisiana does start this inning out with a quick out, and McMaster steps up. Currently only batting a 125. Hard grounder over to Zoe there at first. That's going to be out too. McMaster in the regular season did get 71 hits, and Plaid Mosley, who is now up, has had a great series so far. Hard grounder over to Nicholson, and that will end the top of the 5th inning. So far, Louisiana has not been able to really get anything going here, and Iowa is going to start things off this inning with David Macho Man, which is always scary. Full count here. And he walks. Macho Man. Now we're in that same situation we were in an inning or 2 ago, where Macho Man could definitely be taken off. It gets popped down the third baseline, but does go foul. There goes the steal. Rosas gets it over. He's not able to get Macho Man at second, but they do get the out at first on Escargo. George Wynn is now going to step in here. He has that positive RBI man trait, plus a very decent set of bars. That ball gets hit. Will it be caught? It is not. But Macho Man did not leave second. He thought that ball was going to be caught. Ooh, that is a potentially big mistake. Mr. Avery now with 2 on is going to look to extend Iowa's lead. Drew Nixon gets him out. Alfonso Heath does have a home run and already 4 RBIs in this series. Fouls that one off. We're going 2 strikes. That ball. I'll be honest, I thought that actually was a grounder. I thought that hit the ground. I didn't realize that was just a slow pop-up. Alright, so Iowa was not able to add anything to their lead in that inning. Bobby Hughes, who again hasn't been able to get anything going so far, will step up to lead off Louisiana here. I can't help but wonder what the heck happened with Freya Hull in the regular season. All that I can think is that she got hurt. Because otherwise her stat line makes no sense. Nicholson does catch that pop. Hunter Rogers now with that decreased mojo of tense, which just compounds these problems that Louisiana is facing. He does get a nice grounder though. Macho Man gets it in, and that did fix Rogers' mojo there. So that is good for Louisiana moving forward. Nielsen swings at that first pitch. That ball gets popped over and just hits the dirt. I'm surprised that Freya Hull is still able to throw a 88 speed pitch, but I guess her stamina bar isn't low enough. Louisiana now with a player on second. Them getting even 1 run here would be huge in their chances moving forward in this game. Almost hits the batter. Two negative traits here going against each other. Hard grounder. And Iowa is continuing this dominant performance. This will be very interesting. Louisiana, Shrewd Nixon. That ball gets hit down the line but does drift foul. Slow grounder over to O'Connor, who will be able to get out 1. Nicholson does have that crazy speed bar. One of the fastest players on Iowa. Right over to O'Connor again. And out 2. I'm not sure if it was that pitcher or O'Connor. One of them just had a mojo increase. It looks like it was Shrewd Nixon. He's now locked in. And that is helping his bars out a lot. Especially as a relief pitcher, your stamina drops quicker. And there we go. He gets another strikeout. Alright, Louisiana. 3 innings to go. They need to get at least 4 runs. O'Connor will start things off here. Him getting on base would be huge. He airs it out to Heath, though, in right field. William Stewart does have a positive low pitch trait. We'll see if that works in his favor at all. That's another one that's popped, and it is caught by Winner in left field. That's 2 hits back-to-back that made it to the outfield and were just in the range of the fielder. If Francis Bradley can get on, he has that stealer trait, which will potentially allow him to get into scoring position if he only gets a single. Hull, this will be pitch 93. And slow grounder, and it does get past the shortstop, and that actually is big for Louisiana, because again, he has that stealer trait. Melissa McMaster steps up. You have to assume that he's going to take off here. And yep, you can see Iowa's anticipating it too. He is far off that bag. There he goes, he takes off. Not even close. That steal trait is so good for players that already have high speed. Full count. Oh, it's called strike 3. Oh, man, Louisiana. They have 2 innings. They now just need to hold Iowa to no additional runs. And Trude Nixon is still in. He's actually pitching incredibly, but as a relief pitcher, the stamina bar just drops so quickly, he's probably going to get pulled here after this batter. O'Connor catches that one. And especially going against David Macho Man, we'll see. Yep, there we go. They're going to bring in Bentley, who, look at that stat line. Right now, averaging a 99.99 ERA. And that one will be caught. There we go. And just off of that one pitch, his ERA drops to 67.5. Oh, that ball gets hit into the corner. It does take a favorable bounce there, though. And Iowa will be held to first base. George Wynn, currently batting a .375, and one of the best batters on their team. Strikes out. Big inning once again for Louisiana. Louisiana has been able to hold Iowa the past couple of innings, but they haven't been able to get anything themselves going. They're going to start this inning off with Plaid Mosley, who has done very well for them. And Hullabad, I just realized, pitched 102, and that was just 103. Iowa knows that they're probably not going to get much better from their relief pitchers, though, so they're going to keep her in as long as they can. Heath is just able to field that one. And there they go. They're going to bring in Maldonado. Bobby Hughes still looking for his first hit. He doesn't want to get caught looking. He swings and fouls. Through him low. Another one that he's able to tip off. And another one hit foul. Ball gets away from the catcher. Full count. Oh man. Hughes is racking up this pitch count. He got the pitch count up to 11, which is very rough for a relief pitcher in this game. That is a one pitch out, though. Wow. Iowa so far just a dominant performance, especially from pitchers that are not the best rated, and this is looking very, very good for Iowa. That ball gets popped. It is caught by the shortstop Nielsen now. Alfonso Heath. Alfonso Heath in the regular season batted a .284, so he's batting pretty far above his average so far in this series. The ball gets hit up, and that will likely hit the... Yeah, that goes a couple of rows deep in the stands. And that ball gets hit, but it is caught by Bradley in center field. Zoe McCullough. Oh, here we go. We're going to switch out Bentley for Frederick. Frederick, when he came in another game, he pitched a number of great pitches. You just see that velocity bar. And that was a horrible dive by the shortstop. Who's the shortstop on Louisiana again? Their shortstop is Edward Nielsen. And it's interesting that was such a bad dive, although he only has a 48 on his field bar, which maybe that's why that dive looked so bad. And here we go. Iowa is now going to start pushing into this Louisiana situation. RJ Park, though, is going to be potentially a deciding factor in this inning for Iowa. Frederick starts things out by pitching 2 balls, 3 balls. That ball gets hit. Will it land? It will! And that is dangerous here. Ball is thrown too lightly, and Iowa is looking to extend this to a 3-0 series. They are now up 6 runs, and Louisiana will only have the 9th inning. That ball gets popped. McMaster does catch it right along the wall, though. So here we go. Louisiana will be starting things off here with their kind of poor batting order, but they're down 6 runs, and Maldonado is going to look at sealing game 3. Nielsen pops one up. Does it have the distance? Macho Man is right against the wall. That ball just hits the top of the wall. And Louisiana is going to start things off here with Nielsen on second. And Rosas here is going to see what he can do. Hard grounder. Macho Man. Uh-oh. They're going to go for this. I don't like that call, and he gets caught. David Macho Man just has such a nice arm and such fielding ability. I don't know why Louisiana risked that. O'Connor pops one up. Will it hit? No, it just drifts foul. That was almost the second home run for O'Connor in this series. Swings for strike 2. Nice grounder. Are they going to try to send this home again? No, they hold this time. And you can just see that was such a beautiful throw from Macho Man. He is such a cornerstone of that Iowa team. Maldonado starts out with an inside pitch. That ball is nicely hit. Does it have the distance? It does not have the distance to go over. But Louisiana finally gets a point on the board. They have 2 batters on in the top of the 9th. Here we go. Maldonado is going to get pulled for Turner. Turner has not pitched yet in this series. Turner in the regular season went 7 wins to 4 losses. He actually is a closing pitcher, and he instantly gets them a grounder, a double play to lock in game 3 for Iowa. Iowa has now taken the lead in this series 3-0. And this is the first time in this tournament that we might see a 4-0 series. Let's go ahead and look at the box score here. Louisiana in this series has had a number of games where they've gotten players on and they just cannot get the actual runs to occur. But Iowa continues showing their hitting dominance. In terms of player of the game, let's take a look here at some options. I don't see any player from Louisiana getting it. Iowa, let's see, Nicholson definitely is a strong candidate. 2 hits, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Pitching-wise, Hull, after having an absolutely terrible regular season, actually had an incredible game here. This actually might go to Hull in terms of MVP. Let's see what the game decides here. It does. It goes Hull, followed by Nicholson, and then Shrewd Nixon. Shrewd Nixon did have a very, very good relief pitching performance, but his team was not able to come out on top. So with that, thank you for joining me for Game 3. Like I said a moment ago, this might be the first time that we see a series go 4-0 in this tournament. So the underdog in this series, Iowa, is going to look for Game 4 in Game 4. I'll see you guys there.